Hello and welcome to another edition of HS Game Time Live. I'm Kyle Glazer alongside Eric Paul Johnson. It's semifinals week. We've got Pac-5, West Valley Division, and Northwest Division previews for you. Eric, I want to start in the Pac-5. Centennial beating Mater Dei on the road. No J.J. Taylor. Grayson Bankhead gets hurt. And now they're home against Bishop Amat favored.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a real interesting matchup here. Can Centennial we know they can score, but can they get the job done without J.J. Taylor again and without Grayson Bankhead? That's two of their three big playmakers. We know Javon McKinley will be able to put up big plays. Samonte Bonner will step in at running back, but they're going to need someone else to make big plays. So I'm looking at the other receivers like Cameron Jackson, Luis Mayela, some of those guys to try to come up and be able to be that go-to person. Bishop Amat right now, one of the best defenses in the Pac-5 division, held Jay Serra to 10 points last week. Kind of going back and forth on who I like on this one. I think right now I'm going to take Bishop Amat just for the fact that I think Centennial may be lacking that playmaker or two to pull this one out.
I'm taking Centennial, and here's why. I love what their defense did. For Centennial to go to Mater Dei and hold them really 24 points, and not just that, it was 24-13, and Centennial shut them down. It's a bounce-back performance after allowing 64 to Serra. I think Centennial's defense is doing enough right now to give the offense some breathing room. We know this offense can score. We know they're going to be schemed very well against a very good Bishop Amat defense. Centennial's home. Defense is playing well with confidence. I think the offense has enough weapons. I think they'll pull it out and get to the Pac-5 final in a year that, hey, everyone thought this was going to be a rebuilding year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, it will be an interesting matchup here. A big chance. They're looking to become the first inland team to reach the finals in the top division since 1993 when Eisenhower beat Mater Dei.
It'd be huge. Down the West Valley Division, 2 of the 4 semifinalists coming from the Southwestern League. I think Vista Murrieta is not a surprise just given their history, although you could have argued this year might have been different. Great Oak, though, I mean, both of them, they could win. Do you think we'll have an all-Southwestern League final?
You know, I'm actually going against both Southwestern League teams this week, but I think both games are going to be pretty competitive. We've seen Great Oak get better and better each week. They definitely have the offensive playmakers. Demetric Felton has been carrying that offense for the last couple of weeks since he stepped into the starting running back role. And we know Brandon Presley is capable of making big plays, but Mission Viejo has been playing very tough defense right now, so I kind of like that one to go Mission Viejo's way. The Vista Murrieta Upland game is going to be one of the best games of the week. They faced each other in 2011 in the Inland Division Finals. Both teams were undefeated at that point in the semifinals, and Vista Murrieta won that one handily. But right now, Upland is playing so well. Josh Woods has stepped in not only as a linebacker, but he's now carrying half the load at running back along with Nathan Tilford. I expect this to be a real close game, but I like Upland. They're very physical. I think that we'll see an Upland Mission Viejo final.
You know, I am inclined to agree with you. I do think you mentioned Upland, all the power they have, big power. It's not like they have a couple of really small, skinny guys. They can run you over. And then you also have Mission Viejo, just a powerhouse program. At the same time, I think that I've underestimated Vista Murrieta. I had them losing last week, had Great Oak losing last week. I think once again we talked about this, having three of those are 4 big teams, if you will, winning games and getting to the semifinals in the first year of the Pac-5 West Valley Division. No matter what happens, I think you have to call it a very successful year for inland football, just based on the fact Vista, Great Oak, and Centennial are all in the semis.
Yeah, and definitely the one thing we see with Vista Murrieta and Great Oak, teams that have gotten better since the beginning of the year. When Vista Murrieta lost to lost to Orange Lutheran earlier in the year, we wondered if it was going to be a long season for them, but they've got their offensive issues settled. Kyle Williams has become a huge playmaker at quarterback, so they definitely can put up the points against Upland. I just think right now Upland just has too many weapons on offense.
Got one other team in the semifinals, Arrowhead Christian. They're playing Templeton. Templeton's coming down this way, 3+ hour trip. Arrowhead Christian knocked off number 1 seed Pasadena Maranatha last week. Beat them pretty good too. Can they knock off Templeton?
You know, I picked Arrowhead Christian last week to pull off that upset of Maranatha, and I'm picking him again this week to beat Templeton. I think they will get to the championship game. We see last week they were able to bring a couple guys off the bench and rush for 100 yards. They have 3 or 4 playmakers. We know about the Mowbray brothers, Matthew Thompson at receiver, so I think they have a lot of firepower to beat Templeton. So I like ACA to make their first championship game appearance since that long stretch of 5 or 6 years under Dan Finfrock when they made 3 or 4 and won a couple titles.
Absolutely. I like ACA as well. All right, well, that'll do it for this edition of HS Game Time Live. For Eric Paul Johnson, I'm Kyle Glazer. Thanks and enjoy the semifinals.